So telling about nurture counseling. So as I was speaking about nurture counseling, so it is a dedicated mental health organization which is committed to providing compassionate and professional support to individuals seeking improved emotional well-being and mental health. It was founded on the principle of empathy, understanding, and empowerment. Our mission is to promote mental well being, break the stigma around mental health, and empower individuals through accessible and evidence based counseling. So, this is it about nurture counseling. Now, you should also know that what have we done, are we even recognized or not? So yes, we are recognized. We have had 25 plus certificate training programs empowering learners with practical structured mental health knowledge. We have done 20 plus webinars and workshops, insightful sessions addressing real world psychological challenges, and we have 1,500 plus psychology students trained across India and beyond, participants from Sri Lanka, Dubai, and Singapore. Isn't that great to hear? Okay. So now the major part comes in that, our credentials, this is the most important thing, that are we even recognized or not? So yes, the answer is a big yes, that of course we are recognized and accredited mental health organization. We hold MSME, Startup India registered, GST registered, and we are also affiliated with American Psychological Association. We are also accredited by the International Association of Therapists. So these recognition reflects our commitment to providing credible, ethical, and professional mental health services. So as we see, a lot of mental health organizations, they just keep on selling programs and they aren't even recognized. So don't worry, we aren't the same. Now, our services, what do we actually provide? So yeah, we provide counseling, therapies, psychoeducation, online support, community engagement, therapy in regional language itself. So now let's come to the main thing, that is Miss Kashvi Revalia. So who she's the one who will be going through the whole month with the DPT certificate program. So let's have a review about who she is. So firstly, I would like to thank Ms. Kashvi ma'am for being a part once again. So thank you so much, ma'am. Counseling psychologist and psychotherapist. She has done her bachelor's in psychology from University of Delhi and her master's in counseling psychology from BHU. She has over 5 years of experience in private practice and with ABHA Foundation. She is specialized in anxiety, stress, relationship, and self-worth. She uses an integrative approach tailored to, and she is passionate about psychoeducation. She conducts workshops on counseling skills and emotional well-being for students and professionals. So this is about Kashvi ma'am. Really great to have you on board, ma'am. So we also provide free student counseling. So currently we are offering free therapy sessions only, to all the people in the DBT certificate program who are aged 18 to 22. You can select a date in November. I'll be sharing a link with you. You can register there and we'll be having a therapy session with you all. So if you want that, you need a physical certificate or a hard copy of certificate. So if we can even send that certificate at your doorstep. So but digital certification will be given to each one of you. But if you really want that, okay, I need a hard copy, so we have covered that as well for you on an additional fees of 200 rupees. So we'll be sending a Google form to you, so you can fill that out, and in that, all those details you can fill. And even if you don't want a physical certificate, then also please fill out that form so that we can have your correct name for the certification. And you can also connect with us on our website, on our Instagram. Like, you can just scan this Instagram account, and we're also there on LinkedIn. We keep on posting about our updates of programs and everything, and we're also on YouTube. So we are really excited to have you as a part of Nurture Counseling team. Thank you so much. That is it from my side. Now over to you, Kashvi ma'am.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really grateful for this opportunity, and I hope that the learners would enjoy the session. I shall just share my screen. Give me a second. Okay, so just let me know if the screen is visible and I am visible and completely audible to you.
Yes, ma'am. The screen is visible and you're also visible.
Okay, so can we start?
Sure, ma'am, sure.
Okay. So, hi everyone. I hope you are doing well. We'll start with today's DBT session. So, I have been introduced already by the other teammates. So, there is no need of much introduction about me. We'll just start with the session. Okay. So I have divided. We are having like 4 week sessions. So I've divided each weeks for each DBT foundation skill. So with week one, we'll start with core mindfulness and DBT foundations. Okay. Beginning with what is DBT? So we'll start with the basics. DBT stands for Dialectical Behavior Therapy, and it was developed by the Marsha Linehan, and she created it for the people who feel, very deeply, who feel emotions very deeply, and people who experience emotional ups and downs that are hard to control. So it was made for those people who are very, very emotional and who are not able to control their emotions in an adequate way. But over the time, it has found, it was super helpful for almost everyone, not just the people with mental health disorders, but it was like everybody used it, and it was you mainly used for anxiety, depression, stress, relationship conflicts, emotional burnout, and so many other things. Now, what makes DBT, very unique? So it has like two things which makes it very unique. First, the structure and thinking of cognitive behavior. So DBT is like it's a mix of cognitive behavior and mindfulness. So it focuses on changing unhelpful thoughts. We know that what is CBT? It's cognitive behavioral therapy, and the core idea of CBT is to change the unhelpful thoughts, change the irrational thoughts and behaviors. So DBT is a mix of CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy, and mindfulness principles, which are the principles that in which we focus on awareness and acceptance. So two things that make DBT very important: one is cognitive behavioral therapy and the principles of mindfulness. DBT also teaches us about the balance, acceptance, and change. It's not about, DBT does not talk about fixing us. It's about helping you to live that is worth living. Okay, it's just not that, this is the problem, let's fix it. You have the problem. It DBT will teach you how to face it and how to get over it. Okay, so it's just not about fixing the thing, it's about making you feel, that the life is worth living. So for example, if I give you, let's say that you have an argument with a close friend, you are very upset, your mind is racing, and she doesn't care at all, and you feel that she doesn't care about me and I always get treated very badly. So instead of reacting the right way or spiraling, DBT will help you actually to pause, notice what you're feeling, and then respond more clearly and calmly to the situation. So it's more of emotional first aid. You stop the bleed before it actually becomes the wound. So it's like, prevention is better than cure. So DBT is just like that. You are stopping the bleeding before it actually becomes a wound for you. And you can also think of DBT as an emotional toolkit, because it will help you to handle stress, strong feelings, difficult relationships without breaking down or losing yourself. So you will have your essence, but you can still face those situations. Moving on with the dialectical approach. So now the word dialectical feels very complicated. It sounds very complicated, but it simply means, finding the balance between two opposites. The word itself is very complicated, but actually the meaning is very simple, finding the balance between the opposites. And in DBT, the two opposites are acceptance and change. So acceptance, we all know, it is accepting things as they are right now, and change is working towards making things better. So DBT will teach you that two truths can exist at the same time. They can exist, which is acceptance and change. They can exist at the same time. So, for example, if I give you, I say that I'm trying my best and I still need improvement. So I've accepted it, that okay, I am trying my best, but I still need some improvement. I still need to make some change. So it's like, they are existing on the same platform. I feel hurt and I still care. Another example would be, I accept myself and I want to grow. So I have accepted the way I am. It's okay the way I am. I have accepted it, but there are still changes that I want to make and I want to grow. So if you notice in this thing, when we use and instead of but, in each of the example that I gave you, I didn't use but, I used and. I accept myself and I want to grow. I feel hurt and I still care. So I'm using and instead of but, because but will cancel out what comes before. Okay, so when I say that I love myself but I need to change, it will sound that the love is not enough for me. I am still finding flaws in myself, that I'm not adequate. I still have these imperfections and all of that, and I have to change that. I definitely have to change that, but I have to accept myself also. So, how would I reframe it? I will say that I love myself and I want to change. So this is sounding more balanced and empowering. Okay, so we'll move on to how the DBT works, the four components of DBT, how it actually works in real life. Yeah, so DBT has four components, which is individual therapy, group skill training, phone coaching, and consultation team. So it's basically that, how these are the pillars that work together, holding up a building. So how we can give, how we can use therapy, how we can use DBT in what all things. So in individual therapy, it's like one-to-one session. You all might be aware, where a therapist, will help you to apply DBT skills to your personal situation. For example, you are struggling with anger outburst. So your therapist will help you to make a plan with a DBT skill in it, and you can use that next time whenever you feel triggered with something. Then we have group skills training. So it's like what we are doing today. As a group, we are learning and teaching DBT. So it's like a classroom from where you learn and practice skills together in a safe and supportive way. Then we have phone coaching. So in real DBT programs, what happens that clients can reach out to the therapist when they are in crisis. So it's not like the individual therapy that that is happening, suppose in every week, every 15 days, twice a month. Not like that. It's just that clients can reach out to the therapist whenever they need, whenever they are in crisis, whenever they feel like they are in the situation of self harm, or they're about to act impulsively. So what will happen in this situation? The therapist will help them to apply that skill in the moment. Then, lastly, we have our consultation team. So, it is for the therapists themselves. So, it's like, we make a group for the therapist, and we have all the therapists in that. And we meet as a team to support each other and make sure that, we are staying grounded and effective. So, we can consult that, this is the case. How can I use DBT skill? What skill I can use? So, it's just not one to one therapy in DBT, is just not that. It's actually the whole ecosystem, which is designed to help both the clients and the therapist themselves. Okay, so before we move ahead, any questions? Anybody has any questions? If not, you can just, give me a thumbs up or just tell me about it so that we can move ahead.
So basically, if there are two contradictory opinions in one person's mind, using DBT, we can come into a conclusion that these two contradictory things exist.
Yes, exactly. So using DBT, I can teach the client, I can teach the person for that matter that, okay, your conflicting beliefs are not wrong, but you have to accept them. And if there is anything that you can change, so you just accept and change it.
Okay.
Okay. Anybody else? Yeah, please. I can see Nishtha's hand, I think. You can just unmute and go on.
Ma'am, I want to ask if so. Basically, it's about balancing contradictory thoughts as a fundamental, right?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else with any questions? Okay, then shall we move ahead? Because we have lots to cover. Okay. Now we will be exploring the four core skills in the module of DBT, which is mindfulness, distance tolerance, emotion regulation, and interpersonal effectiveness. So these are the four skills that make the entire DBT, the entire therapy, and we have many skills under them. So giving a brief idea of what each skill is. So definition of mindfulness, it's the I would say that mindfulness is the heart of DBT. Okay, and mindfulness is very easy. It's like the foundation of DBT, as I told you. It's about being present right now and right here. So you have to be present in the situation. That's all about mindfulness. You have to be present, but without judging yourself or your feelings. Okay, so if you have any thought that you are suppose you have a thought coming in your head, so that doesn't mean that you have to suppress the thought, or you think that, oh my god, what am I thinking, this is not the right thought. It's like acceptance and change. You accept it, okay, the thought is not right, but I can change it. So it's like that, we have the thought, we are in the moment, we have a thought, we have the thought, and we're not judging or judging ourselves because of the thought. So it's like that. And the purpose, it will help you to observe your thoughts and emotions instead of being controlled by them. Suppose you're feeling anxiety, so instead of saying that I am feeling anxious, you can say that, okay, anxiety is visiting me. So you just the feeling was, earlier it was inward, that I am feeling anxiety, but when you say that anxiety is visiting me, it becomes outward. It becomes something which is not inside you, but something which will come and just go. So it's like that. One more example if I give you, um it's written here that, if you notice your heart is racing before a presentation, so instead of panicking, you take a deep breath, you acknowledge that, I am feeling anxious, but I have to be focused on my speech. So you're acknowledging the fact that you are anxious, but then you have a presentation, you have to focus on that also. So it's like observing your feelings instead of being your feelings. So it's like observing, agar aap observe karoge, so it's like more outward thing. But if you being, if you be that anxious, if you be that feeling, it would be more inward. So mindfulness is just telling you to notice but not to judge any of the feeling, any of the thought that you have. Moving on to distress tolerance. So this skill will help you to, tolerate difficult emotions and crisis without actually doing something impulsive that makes it worse. So it's like, when we are under a very stressful situation, instead of reacting, we just take a step back. So that is distance tolerance. It will help you to survive crisis and build resilience. Okay, so for example, you have a fight with your partner, and what would be your first instinct? Maybe it would be, texting hurtful things, sorry, saying any mean things. But what if you use the stop skill? So stop skill is one of a part of DBT that we would be covering ahead. So yes, if you would practice the stop skill, what will happen? You will stop, you will take a moment, you will take a pause, you will observe, you will proceed mindfully. Okay, when you take a deep breath for that matter, your rational thinking gets bigger. You can think more rationally. You can differentiate between what's wrong, what's not, what's right. Okay, so instead of reacting, what will happen? You will pause in the situation. Maybe you can go for a walk, drink water, or do something which will ground yourself, and then respond when you're calmer. So it's like facing the situation, but after some delays. Because if you face the situation right there, what will happen? You might act impulsively and make things worse. But what we have to do, we have to just take a pause and respond when we are calmer, when we feel calm. So it's basically, when you survive the wave of emotion without crashing. So you're having the emotion, but you have to, it's at the peak. So you wait until that peak goes down, and then you can react. So that is emotional regulation. Then we oh, sorry, that was distance tolerance. That now we have emotion regulation or emotional regulation. So it's about, understanding and managing my emotions. It's very easy. It's a skill that we should all develop, because when we understand our feelings, when we name our feelings, it is more easy to deal with them. So it's basically, learning to understand, name, and manage emotions in very healthy way, very helpful ways. And what will happen if you do so? It will prevent emotional overload, and it will reduce your vulnerability to mood swings. Okay, so when you learn to understand, okay, you understand, suppose you get angry, but when you learn that, okay, this is the trigger, what will happen? Your mood swing will be reduced. Your emotional overload will not happen. So it's you. So what happened? You are understanding your emotions, you are naming your emotions, and then you are managing your emotions. Sometimes suppose you notice that you feel cranky all the time, but you don't know the reason. Then you realize that, okay, you are skipping on meals and you are staying up late. And what will happen? And you're bottling some emotions. So these are the things that we do it, but we are not aware of it. It's like a part of a routine that we have to eat, that we have to we have to sleep. But what is happening right now? I am sleeping, but I'm sleeping late. I am eating, but I'm skipping my meals. So I am feeling cranky. I was feeling cranky, but I didn't know the reason. Now when I understand it, okay, this is the reason behind my crankiness. What will happen? I will, with the help of DBT, I will try to connect those dots. I will see that how my physical state is affecting my emotional state, how my not eating meals and not sleeping on time is affecting my emotional state, which is I'm bottling my emotions. So I can work. If I understand all of these things, I know this is the trigger. What I can do next? I can actually work on my self care. I can start eating well. I can start to sleep properly. And what will happen after that, if all the things are in line? My mood would be regulated. Okay, so it's just that I have to understand how are my emotions working. I have to name them, and I can manage them. Emotion regulation is about that. Okay, next one, the last one. It is interpersonal effectiveness. So this interpersonal effectiveness is, it will teach you how to handle relationships. Okay, so relationships can be between your friends, between your parents, between your teacher, anything, any relationship. So it will tell you that how you can handle relationship, how you can ask what you want, what you don't want, how, like when, how to say no, maintain self respect. So it is all about it. It will help you to communicate clearly, set boundaries, and maintain healthy relationships. And what's the purpose of interpersonal effectiveness? Is that you will balance your need, you will balance others need, and you will balance relationship needs. So if you are aware of what you need, you can actually communicate that, okay, I don't like to sleep late, for example. So you know that this is the thing that I don't like. Anybody, suppose your friend calls you at night and says that, let's have a chat, let's have a video call at this time. But now when you know your need, you know how to communicate, you can tell them ki, okay, this is not the right time because I usually don't stay up late, we can have a talk tomorrow. So what will happen? When you communicate it clearly, you are helping yourself also. Okay, you are not compromising on your sleep. So you are balancing your need also. You are balancing the relationship need, the friendship need, and the others need also. Um, Again, one example we have that, suppose your parent criticizes you for your choice. So what will happen? You will feel bad, of course. But instead of yelling or saying silent, if you use the dear man skill, again, we would be learning more about this skill in the upcoming sessions. if you will use the dear man skill, which is to describe, assert, and reinforce. Okay, if you will use these skills to calmly express your point of view and maintain respect on both sides. So you are describing that okay, this is a very important thing that I have to do, and suppose it's for your college. Suppose I have to take admission in this college because it will make my future. Let's suppose a situation. You will express it, then you will reinforce it. You will reinforce it like you will say calmly that okay, this is my point of view, whatever you are saying that is also right, but please hear me out. So you are expressing your point of view, and what will happen, the respect is also maintained on both the sides. So that is interpersonal effectiveness. Okay, these were the four skills, which was mindfulness. Then we had distance tolerance, we had interpersonal effectiveness, and we had emotion regulation. So anybody has any doubt with that, or any questions before we move ahead?
Ma'am, can you just explain distance tolerance once more?
Okay. Let me get back to the slide. Yeah. So it is, it's the ability to tolerate painful emotions and stressful situations without acting impulsively. So it's like, you are tolerating your difficult emotions in the time of crisis, where you can actually do something, where you can actually act impulsively, but you are being calm and you are just taking a step back. Okay, so it's like, you are in a situation of crisis. Suppose again, you are in a very what's say suppose your friend said some hurtful things to you, and you are so much full of anger, so much, you cannot hold your anger, it's too much. But you want to maintain that friendship, you want to still, because it might be your close friend, let's suppose. So what will you do? You felt bad, that is okay, you are validating your feelings, that is absolutely correct. But instead of reacting in the moment, instead of saying some hurtful things to the friend, you will take a step back, you will just be quiet for a second, you will calm yourself, and then you will say. Because what happens when I am in anger, anything which I say, even if it is right, it will get amplified in the negative way. So because I don't want to picture myself in a negative image, I don't want to have a negative image of myself, and still I want to express what I feel, what I will do, I will listen the situation. She has said something hurtful, okay, which is correct. I feel bad. I will validate my feelings, which is also correct. But instead of reacting then and there, I will take a step back. I will be calm. I can drink some water. I can have some deep breaths in, deep breaths out. I can do deep breathing. I will take a step back. I will observe. I will say, okay, this is right, this is wrong, and then I will proceed. So it's just not that key. The first step, she said something hurtful. You felt angry, and then you proceeded to answer back. Instead, she said some things. You felt angry, but on your part, you took a step back. You observed the things, and then you stated clearly that I didn't like it. Okay, you're just telling it clearly, the part of interpersonal effectiveness also, that I don't like this thing, whatever you told me, and please be careful next time with your words. So you are communicating that also. But imagine, suppose if you said this when you were in the, when you were actually at the peak of your anger, your this thing that you don't like it, if you say that also, it will not be that effective. Because what will overpower your anger will overpower you. So it's just that we have to we have to stop, we have to take a step back, we observe the entire situation, and then we proceed mindfully for answering any questions, or anything the situation that demands. That is distance tolerance.
So the difference between emotional regulation and distress tolerance is the factor of impulsivity.
Yes, exactly. It's impulsivity. Because in emotion regulation, we are trying to understand what we are feeling. We are naming the emotions, we are understanding them. But in distance tolerance, it's like I have understood everything, but I don't have to be impulsive. I have to stop, I have to take a step back and then react.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome. Anybody else? Any questions? Okay, can we move ahead? Give me a thumbs up. Yeah, go on. Please unmute yourself and
Yeah, sorry. So, can you please once again explain that emotion regulation part since I got confused between the two?
sure, I would do so. Give me a
Thank you.
second. Okay, we have emotion regulation. So, emotion regulation is about understanding and managing my emotion. It is very simple. I know what I can, like, I suppose I felt it. I felt the emotion. Suppose I felt angry. I have to understand why I am feeling angry. Okay, what's the reason behind feeling anger? I have a feeling, I have some unsettling feeling, but I don't know. Sometimes it's happened that we feel very if I state that sometimes we feel very ajeeb. We feel that, but we don't know why are we feeling that way. It's just very weird feeling. In this emotion regulation, what we do, we try to name those feelings. We try to name, okay, if I'm feeling, suppose if I'm feeling very unsettling, why I'm feeling unsettling. Is it a guilt? Suppose, is it angry? Am I you know am I in the state of grief? Am I sad? These all are different emotions. So we are first naming the emotions. Now I have named it. Okay, I am feeling angry. Let's say why I am feeling angry. I have to understand that. Is it because somebody said something to me? Is it because I didn't have my lunch today? Is it because that I didn't sleep properly? So then I will understand. Okay, now I have named it. I was feeling angry. The situation happened. I named it. I was feeling angry. Then I moved on to understand it. That what is the reason behind my anger? Is it some XYZ reason? It is something because some other person did something, or is it my emotional thing? It's my interpersonal reason that I didn't sleep well, or I didn't, somebody said something to me. So I will understand it. And now when I've understood it, suppose I understood that I didn't sleep properly, that's why I'm very cranky and I'm feeling very irritable and angry. So now I know that if I sleep properly, the anger and the crankiness won't come. What I'm doing in this step, I am then managing my emotions, okay, in healthy ways, which is important. Because if I feel angry and I go on lashing out to other people, first of all, I have named my emotion, let's say, but I don't understand the reason behind it. And when I don't understand the reason behind my emotion, I will not be able to manage them. Okay, so I have understood that this is the reason that I'm feeling angry. Now I will prevent anything that will trigger it. It's basically that. Okay, so it is basically, you help, you identify what you are feeling, why is it happening, and then keep a emotional balance. That is about emotion regulation. Anything else?
So, in that previous example, in that angry situation, I'll first regulate it and then, as per that, I'll be behaving. Distress tolerance.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Any more questions? Can we move ahead? Okay, let's go ahead. Yeah, so now we would be learning about the three states of mind. It's basically about the three ways how we make our decision. So first is emotional mind, then it's rational mind, and then it is wise mind. So it's basically the states of your mind which help you to make any decision, and it's a core component. It's a core topic, I would say, in DBT. If you understand the difference between these three things, you can help your client also to shift from, suppose, from emotional mind to rational mind, to rational mind to wise mind. Okay, first we start with emotional mind. So emotional mind, it's driven purely by your feelings and your urges. So it's like it's you react instantly without thinking of the consequences. Okay, you cry, you shout, you act impulsively, and no logic is involved in that. So it's like the decisions are coming from your emotions, not from the logic. So you are just reacting and you are not thinking. It is same as distance tolerance. If I'm just reacting, I'm not thinking, I'm not using any skill. So that is I am in my emotional mind. Okay, suppose I get a bad grade. Okay, and I cry, I tear my notes, and I feel very bad. I blame the teachers that they didn't check the exam, check my paper well, and all sort of things, and think that I am useless. So this is emotional mind. Okay, in this we are being very impulsive, very impulsive. We have no logic, nothing behind it. It is just a feeling and our emotions that are making me react that way, that are making me impulsive. Then we have our rational mind. So rational mind, it is focused on logic, it is focused on facts and problem solving, and ignoring emotions, but not entirely. Okay, it's I would say that emotions are there, but I am not going in the flow of emotions. Instead I am being rational, instead I am being logical. So emotions here are ignored, not completely, they are minimized. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm analyzing everything, but I miss my emotional need. That is rational mind. So for example, it's given here that my friend cancels a plan last minute. So instead of nagging and just lashing out on the friend that why do you cancel it last moment, or even not, if not even in the last moment, suppose he she cancels the plan. So instead of lashing out on her, you say that okay, you might be busy, that's fine, maybe we can have the plan other time. Okay, so it's like you are being logical. Okay, that is the rational mind. So we have the keywords. In emotional mind, I was being impulsive. In rational mind, I was being logical. That I give a reason behind any action. Then we have wise mind. So wise mind, it's the perfect balance. It is the perfect balance between your emotion and reason. So it is the perfect balance between your emotional mind and your rational mind. In this, I feel every emotion, but I'm responding to it very thoughtfully. So it's like the skill that we just did it, emotion regulation. Yes. So wise mind is more of emotion regulation, where I'm feeling every emotion and then I'm responding to it very thoughtfully. Okay, so uh, it's my inner knowing or intuition, okay, which is very calm and centered and grounded. So even if I'm at the worst stage of my life, not that I am not feeling those emotions, not that I'm not feeling bad, I'm feeling sad, that's completely fine. Okay, but I'm responding to that thoughtfully. Instead, if I just cry that why does it happen with me only, why only me, I am in my emotional mind, I am saying it out of no logic. But suppose if I am in that situation, and again that something went bad, how will my rational mind would be react? That okay, maybe I didn't put enough efforts in that situation. Let's say, suppose it was an exam, you got bad marks, so in your emotional mind would say that I am a failure, I will cry and I will cry. But rational mind would say okay, maybe this time I didn't do well. Okay, so here in rational mind, I am completely minimizing my emotions. I am feeling bad, but in a way, I am suppressing that emotion. I am just being logical, I am being practical that I didn't do well. That's it. No other questions asked. I didn't do well and just full stop, completely done. But in my wise mind, what will I do? If I have a bad exam, I will cry, I will feel sad also. But then I will pick up myself. Instead, instead of crying and doing all those things, I will take time to calm down and then think of the situation, that okay, I did very bad in my exams, I am validating my feelings also, I did very bad, now it's the time I have to pick up myself and I'll do good next time. So that is wise mind. Again, one example is here. Suppose you have a fight, you are angry. So instead of ignoring or reacting to that situation, you will take time, you will breathe, and talk calmly later. Okay, so wise mind is says that I know what I feel and I know what makes sense. So we have the keyword in this balance. So we had three keywords up till now. In emotional mind, we were being impulsive. In rational mind, we were being logical. And then in the wise mind, we were being balanced. Okay, so it's a little activity for all of you. I would like you to think of a recent situation, maybe anything. It could be a fight, any decision, or any mistake, and then in which mind you were in when you were in that situation. Was it your rational mind reacting to it? What was it, your emotional mind, wise mind? And suppose if you were not in your wise mind, how would you react when you were, like, when you apply your wise mind to it? So I would like anybody of you to think of the situation. All of you, I would request all of you to think of the situation, unmute your mic, and let's have a discussion about it. Anybody can, take your time. I'll give you just 2-3 minutes for it. Take your time, and then we can have a small discussion on it. Anybody can unmute yourself and go on answering it.
What if we are programmed to think in a react in a using our emotional mind itself? Like, for example, if a person is emotionally abused repeatedly, so they will also be extremely emotional when it comes to reacting.
That's absolutely correct. See, being in emotional mind is something which is not wrong. But our aim is to, as therapist, if I'm a psychologist, if I'm giving a therapy to somebody, my aim would be that I have to take that client out of that emotional mind, gradually to rational mind, and then to wise mind. Because what they have felt, suppose they have been, emotionally, what you said, um,
Abused.
yeah, sorry, emotionally abused. That is correct. Anybody can have that situation. But my goal as a therapist would be that, okay, I tell the client, I will teach the client. I will first educate the client that, this is your emotional mind reacting, and we have like the three minds and all of that. And this one is your emotional mind reacting. Gradually, I will try to incorporate some kind of activity, some kind of things. I'll give some homework and tell the client that, let's shift it to the rational mind. Then shift, when you are in the rational mind, you will acknowledge the fact that, okay, you're doing great, you came from a very bad background, you were being emotionally abused, but now you actually tried to be in your rational mind. So now when you can come to the rational mind, you can actually go to your wise mind also. So I am subsequently telling the client that what you are feeling is okay, what you're what you had in your past, that was fine, but now we have to change the pattern also. Because if every time I'm in my emotional mind and I am just reacting because of my emotions, I will be losing out on a lot of things, and that is just not healthy for me as an individual also. So if,
Okay.
as your question was, that if somebody is programmed, okay, if the person is programmed to think in emotional way, he can be reprogrammed to think using the wise mind also. And that is our job as therapist, as client, as psychologist.
So, for example, in a case, there's this teenager, adolescent, around 14, 15-year-old, and always criticized at home for everything, for even small mistakes. And so from the outside, like if any like other person, friend or relative, like even slightly says something, she gets offended very easily and emotionally reacts. So that is
So that would be emotional mind. But what I will do, I will teach the client the, we have the 4 core skills in DBT. I will teach the client that in emotional, being in emotional mind is something that you are not able to tolerate your distress. Okay. And when the client is reacting, when he is crying out of nowhere and he feels hurtful, let's say, I will tell the client, okay, you feel hurtful, but instead of actually crying, take a step back. Because what happens, emotions are like, it's like a graph. It comes here, then it goes at the peak, and then it comes down. When I know how to handle that emotion at the peak, I will get through that emotion. So if I teach the client that, if you will just stop and you breathe or maybe drink water, because drinking water and breathing will regulate my nervous system. If I tell the client, maybe next time he won't cry to that situation. He won't, feel bad about that situation.
okay. Thank you.
Welcome. Anybody else? Any questions? We were on that activity. Anybody like to wants to share that activity? Any situation that you were in recently, and in which mind you were in, and how you can change that?
Yeah, actually, I have gone through a small similar situation what we discussed before,
Okay.
like anger management. Not with
Okay.
me. There is one of my colleague. He's coming and telling that okay, there was a big fight with his wife,
Mhm.
and okay, after talking for more than I think 1 hour, finally he's come to a conclusion that okay, this is my anger created all these issues. So after that, as you said, I told him, okay, whenever you are feeling such a situation, just take 2 3 deep breaths if possible.
Yes.
Otherwise, you have to find something to vent out your anger and not directly to her. Escape from the situation, and if you are able to go inside a toilet or somewhere else alone and look at a mirror or somewhere else, and you can cry or shout or whatever you want and come back, maybe it will give you some release, like the emotional or that what is called impulsive mood can be
Yes.
changed.
Hmm.
Okay, that's what I just come to my mind while hearing the situation.
Yes. So it was that you told your friend to how to react using your wise mind. Okay, he was being emotional, he was being very angry. He understood that what's the reason behind the anger, and you advised him that okay, in you were not aware that we have wise mind or something like that, but you still advised him that we can react using our wise mind. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else? We have lots of people. Anybody can unmute and just share.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yeah, go on.
Ma'am, as you said, when someone cancels the plan last moment, we can give a rational logic to that. But
Yes.
sometimes there is this is a tendency of some people to cancel the plan at the last moment very often. Then how to deal with that situation?
Okay, so in this case, I would be working on myself. It would be my interpersonal effectiveness again, the skill. If that thing is being happening very repeatedly, I would just go and inform the person that whatever you're doing is not right, and I don't like it, because I have to then maintain my relationship with the friend also. So I will just not lash out. Maybe if suppose today was the plan and she cancelled half an hour ago, maybe not today because I might be in some heat of the moment. Maybe tomorrow I will text him, I will call him, and I will tell that this is not the right thing because it's been happening very repeatedly and I'm being very affected with it, and please take care of it next time. So we can deal with that situation. You can just state clearly what you want, and you can just set your boundaries. You can say that if the next time you won't come, you would cancel the plan, I won't be coming, I won't be joining you in. So this way you are creating your boundary, you are expressing what you feel, and still you are maintaining the relationship.
Okay, thank you. And I have another question as well.
Yes.
There are some people who are very like obsessed, or you can say highly protective towards their friends or any kind of relations. So, how to address those people who are very obsessed with either their friends as well or their partner, their siblings? Some are very obsessed with their parents as well. Like, if we are two children, then I must be the first priority of them.
Okay. So in this way, maybe I can use again. It would be my interpersonal effectiveness. I will use one skill, which is the dear man skill. We would be learning about it again. I would, I would describe that this suppose this is a situation happened, and I will express that I felt very bad, and then you can assert. Then you can tell that what you need. Suppose you say that I also need an equal share in my chocolate. Let's say, then you will reinforce. How would you reinforce? You will tell the client, tell the person that you will tell the benefits of the situation. You will just not tell the negatives, because again you have to shift the mind from there. You will tell the benefits, and then you can express the entire situation. And being in that thing, in that situation, you have to be very mindful okay, what you are speaking, you have to be very confident. You have to you're confident that whatever I'm speaking, whatever benefits I'm telling you, I'm in like complete confidence with that. And you have to negotiate. If you think that somebody, if the person, suppose if he's on level 100 of doing something bad, suppose after hearing your after hearing your demands, I would say, he comes to level 70. You want him to come to 70, let's say, but then he's like, okay, let's settle at 75. So you can negotiate also, but okay, this time it has happened, but next time, take care of it. But then again, as you said, that somebody feels very strongly for their parent and for your friend, or maybe something else, it is their emotional it's their emotional bonding with them, it's their emotional mind working there. So maybe you can, because now if you are aware of your emotional state, if you are aware that we are in we have three states of mind, you can actually deal the person with that thing. You can know that, okay, this person is that emotional mind, and I have to use this technique to deal with the person.
Thank you.
Welcome. Anyone else?
So yeah, there was this one situation where in one house help was like humiliated for regularly taking some leaves and without informing. So one day she came to our house that all this has happened and they have humiliated us and are not even giving our money for like 1 month and all. And when we asked like what all they have said, then they commented on the caste and the everything, because she
Yeah.
yeah. So after talking to them, making them understand that at this point you are like way too angry, and that is why I mean, instead of making your points clear that they should have informed you, you can't just comment on the caste or the class where they come from, because they're also trying to earn some money and work like us. So they then agreed and just give the money and everything like sorted. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it's a perfect example of the skill distance tolerance. So because they were in anger, they said a lot of things. But in that situation, if they would have, waited for a while, they would have understood what the other person is coming from, what the other person is going through. They could have reacted very differently. Okay, thank you everybody for sharing. We'll move ahead. Okay, now we will understand what is wise mind. Okay, so wise mind, we all know, I have clearly explained it. So it's the inner calm voice that we have. It's not dramatic, it's not loud, it is just wise. Okay, everybody have it. It's just that we have to discover our wise mind. So it helps you to make balanced decision that will honor both your logic and your emotion, and helps you to respond very mindfully with all the self awareness. Okay, so for example, if I say that you're angry at your parent for being strict, so what will your emotional mind say? It will say that, just yell and slam the door. Rational mind will stay silent and avoid conflict, but wise mind, wise mind will understand the situation that, okay, maybe they are being strict is wrong, completely understandable, but there might be a reason that they are being strict for me. I will express the situation to my parents that, you are being strict to me. I'm very angry. But right now, I don't want to have a conversation. I need space. And I will respect them. So if I will just, yell and slam the door, what will happen? It is like, again, disobeying them. But if I am in my wise mind, I will express the entire thing that I am being angry and don't want to talk right now. You will just sit in your room and just say that I need space. And after, when everything, when that moment is over, when your anger is not at peak, you can just go and talk. So this way you're still respecting them, and you are, uh, you're keeping your demands, you're saying the things, and you are being respectful as well. Okay, so we had questions earlier. I would move to the next slide. So it's like how mindfulness and wise minds are linked. So these are very, overlapping topics, I would say. mindfulness, it is the bridge that will take you to wise mind. Okay, so when you are mindful, you slow down, you are just not running, you're not in a hush, you observe your feelings, you will listen to your inner wisdom, and you will not react or overthink to it. Okay, so that is the wise. It's like a bridge, which I told you. You are pausing yourself, you're observing things, you notice what is happening without any judgment, and then you are being led to wise mind. Okay, again, one example. Suppose again you are angry after a fight. If you pause and take a deep breath, notice what is happening in your body and observe your thoughts, you will create space. Okay, so mindfulness means it's all about, we are being mindful of our situation, of the feeling of any sensation that we are having in our body, or any thought that is coming. I'm being very mindful of that. I will create space. I will differentiate myself with that thought. Okay, if I say that I'm feeling anxious, I will differentiate saying that anxiety is visiting me. So I have created a gap between both of them. Okay, so I'm creating a space between both of them. And wise mind is helping me to create that space. If I was in my emotional mind, I would just, again, I would lash out. If I was in my rational mind, I would have found a reason and I would suppress my feeling. But if I am in my wise mind, I'm acknowledging that I'm angry and I'm creating a gap between them. I'm creating a space between them. And when you have created that space, your wise mind will step in, and then it will guide your response. So creating space, it's like just taking a step back. It's like mindfulness is the doorway to wise mind, and wise mind is, suppose, your calm waiting room. Okay, so it's just that it's just a doorway. The way when you open the door, it is mindfulness, and when you step in, it's your wise mind. So it's very much advised to even if your clients are not in that wise mind thing, you can actually let them, you can educate them how to go there. It's just not that just tell them, and we have three kinds of mind and you have to be, from tomorrow you have to use your wise mind and do like that. It will not happen that way. You have to gradually tell them how to do that. Okay, moving on. It's like a mini practice. I would all want you to do it. Okay, so I will just I will just dictate to it and you can do it. And I want everybody to participate in it, and let go of any judgment that you have before participating. So we can we can just start with it, and after that we'll just wrap up with the entire thing. Okay, so I hope that you all are sitting comfortably, and if you're not, so please sit comfortably. Then close your eyes, take a slow deep breath in, deep breath out. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out. Again, take a deep breath in, deep breath out, and observe what is happening around you. It can be your thoughts, it can be any sound that you hear, it can be any sensation that you feel in your body. And then, after you have observed, describe it silently. If any thought comes to you, just notice it. Don't judge any thought. Now, gently ask yourself, what does my wise mind say right now? How does my wise mind react to the thought, to the sound, to any sensation? And when you know that your wise mind is saying something, when you can figure it out, that is it. That's the moment where your wise mind lives in. Okay, so now you all can open up your eyes. And if anybody wants to share how you felt during this thing, you can just go on. What did you observe and how you felt?
So it felt a lot of confusion at the beginning
Okay.
because I felt if we do it for a little longer time, it would be more effective.
Okay, yes.
And then okay, the feeling like okay, it settled in. Like okay, I think the nervous energy settled in.
Yes.
Good focus.
Yeah. So when you were in the state of confusion, that was your
Mm.
emotional mind, and when you said that you felt settled, that was when your wise mind stepped in.
Yeah, like okay, like whatever the situation is, I have to deal with it and work on it. Like so that
Yes,
was like
definitely, definitely. Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, so before we move on to the summary, I would just want you to type in the chat box what is the out of those four skills, what you think that you need the most. Is it mindfulness? Is it distance tolerance? Is it emotional regulation, or is it interpersonal effectiveness? So you can just type it. Oh, I'm sorry. You can just type it in the chat box. Okay. Shweta says that it is distress tolerance. Participate, everyone. The more you will participate, the more you will understand. The more the session is interactive, the more it is good for you. Okay, emotion regulation, Manasi said. Shakti says emotional regulation. Okay, so we have a lots of. Okay, we have mindfulness, emotion regulation. Okay, interpersonal effectiveness. Okay, Nishita has a question.
Ma'am, I just my chat box isn't working, so I just want
Okay.
to say that I learned. For me, I think it's personally the mindfulness and the distress tolerance that I have to improve on. But yeah.
Okay. Okay, Biju says that it is mindfulness and emotion regulation with wise mind. Okay, so all the things that you have been texting in this chat box, all the skills from tomorrow onwards, we would be moving on to these skills in depth so that you understand what are those skills, what are these components, and in these components we have a lot of skills that you can actually practice yourself, and even you can tell your clients how to practice that. So it's helpful either ways for you and for your client. Okay, so we'll just move on to the summary. I'll summarize what we had today. So we'll wrap up the session. We learned what is DBT and how it balances the acceptance and change. Okay. We understood the three states of mind, which were being emotional, rational, and wise. Then we had a small practice which was a short mindfulness exercise where you noticed what you were feeling in the situation and you named it. Okay. Then lastly, the takeaway that I think that you guys might take away today would be that your wise mind will help you to respond, not react. And in everyday situation also, if you try, maybe after this class you come up with any situation, try to use your wise mind. Okay, just make your wise mind active and try to use it. Okay, any questions with anything in any regard? If not anything, we can quickly wrap up this session and I will then meet you tomorrow. Anything? If not, just give me a thumbs up, guys, so that we can wrap up the session today. Okay, perfect. So we'll wrap up this session today, and tomorrow we would be starting with mindfulness. And I would like all of you to be very interactive. Please turn on your cameras. Please respond as much as you can. Ask as many questions as you can. And let's make it more interactive. Okay, I will meet you tomorrow.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your time.
Thank you, ma'am.
Great session.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.